marching band that we saw set up all morning today. They are also braving the heat. Now, this route has seen its fair share of heroes being honored since the 1880s. Most recently, the U.S. women's soccer team in 2019 after winning its second World Cup championship. But today is a time to honor our city's essential workers in healthcare, education, transportation, hospitality, delivery, utility, grocery, and so many other industries. Heroes who got us through this pandemic, so many of them putting their own lives at risk every day, and so many of these heroes saving the lives of New Yorkers at a time when COVID rates were spiking and hospitals were overflowing. We spoke with a few participants of the parade as well as spectators. They all have different reasons for being out here and shared with us why they think it's so important to honor these everyday heroes.
How many teachers we got up in here? Raise your hand. We kept the education going. We kept the learning going while the city was shut down, while the world was shut down.
It's always important to honor and celebrate anybody who has gone out of their way, regardless of salary or their time or, you know, just for other human beings. Whatever it is.
Perfect.
Well, this last 2020, this year has been obviously horrible for so many people, and these people really stepped up. I was here in March 2020 when everything was insane, and we clapped. I think it was at like 7 p.m. every night, and so this just really feels like a good way to honor them after all the hard work and not everybody made it through the year all happy, you know. So this is a really wonderful way to just honor these people and celebrate the end.
What's your name?
Alexander.
And the parade will travel up Broadway and end at City Hall. Now, the mayor called off a big ceremony at the end of the parade at the last minute because of the heat. I have to tell you, it's getting hotter by the moment, but that is not keeping people indoors today. All of them so excited to be out here. There are cooling stations and water stations set up throughout the route. And before I send it back to you, Chris, we'll just show you one more time. This is an amazing Afro marching band made up of all women we spoke to earlier. A lot of them are essential workers, and they said it was such an honor to be selected to be part of this. We have another marching band coming by right now. This is All City High School from the city. I thought it said New City, New York. So so many different groups out here participating. Really so incredible, and we're excited to bring you coverage throughout the day. Chris, let me send it back to you.
Yeah, definitely an exciting scene. Dana, we appreciate it. You saw Dana in her Dana's report right there. You saw her mention Sandra Lindsay, today's Grand Marshal. She was actually riding in the 1952, this is what it is. It's a Chrysler Imperial Parade Phaeton. It's a vehicle that was made, there are only 3 of them made specifically for parades like this. And Sandra Lindsay, you might remember, back in December, she's a critical care nurse at Long Island Jewish Medical Center in Queens. She became the first American to receive the COVID vaccine earlier today on Good Day. She spoke to us about the honor and her feelings on this monumental day.
I felt so honored and privileged to be able to lead this very, very important group of participants, of individuals who kept the city going, kept us all safe, or healthcare workers, or bodega workers, transportation workers, city workers, educators, all these very, very important people who, without them, we would be at a standstill. So it's a pleasure to lead this group of people. I am so honored.
And we thank you for your...
All right, well, we've mentioned the parade is making its way up the Canyon of Heroes today. Lisa Evers is live along that route at Chambers and Broadway. Lisa, what's the energy like where you are?
Chris, it is so much positive energy here. I have to tell you, the people are just coming in and they're trying to find a spot in the shade under scaffolding. Right behind me, there's a group from an insurance company. They have set up a tent, and they have set up a post where they're welcoming and honoring on their own the essential workers. You see the barricades. There's a sanitation ATV that they go up and down the route, and then as you go further down, that's just the beginning of the parade that is now making its way up towards City Hall. Now, that ceremony, of course, this afternoon that was scheduled at 2 o'clock canceled due to the intense heat. And then when you see the lack of crowds here, you also have to keep in mind that for a lot of the ticker tape parades we've had in the past, everyone has been in their offices. So we're talking about tens of thousands, probably more, people who would just come out of their office buildings, come out of their stores, or come out of wherever they were working to get a glimpse of the action that's going on. So despite the fact that the crowd is a little thin, people are coming in now to filter in. There's all of the usual trappings of a parade, and the energy is, I would have to say, at a 10. People are just happy to be out despite the heat, happy to be here, happy to be celebrating our hometown heroes. Chris, back to you.
All right, Lisa. Well, we got to mention the heat, as Lisa just mentioned, because that is one of the biggest challenges today facing marchers. Temperatures expected to top 90 once again, forcing marchers to scale back today's celebration. So let's bring in Audrey Puente with more on how things are looking and feeling out there right now. Audrey.
Very, very warm, as you mentioned, Chris, and we do have plenty of sunshine out there, which is also adding to the heat that we're experiencing across the tri-state area. Currently in the city, we have about 84 degrees, which is about our normal high for this time of year. We are in store for a very hot afternoon. A southwest wind is continuing to bring in the heat and humidity across the tri-state area, and our dew points are at 70 degrees right now in the city, which is making it feel quite oppressive outside. Area-wide, we're all sitting under a very warm and hot air mass across the region, and again, it's the dew points that are making it feel uncomfortable. This is a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. When we see it at about 65 degrees, it starts to feel uncomfortable. We're now at 70 in the city, so that's going to make it feel oppressive. And when we factor that in with the current temperatures, we have a heat index value right now of 88 degrees sitting in the city at the moment, and it will be rising as we go through the afternoon. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for the entire tri-state area, of course, including New York City. So it's going to be dangerously uncomfortable later this afternoon as our heat index values will rise into the 90s in many spots. Throughout the parade, we're expecting a heat index of about 93 by the end of the parade, so we'll be getting quite hot as we go further on in the next couple of hours here. No relief with the winds here, very light. They'll stay that way through the afternoon, and we do have clear skies out there allowing for plenty of sunshine. While that might sound nice, it's also exacerbating the heat issue across the region. But as we heard Dana Arshan say, there are cooling stations in and around the parade route as well as water stations, so that's something that people can use to find some relief. Also, wear light-colored and loose-fitting clothing, of course. Try to limit your time outdoors if you are going to be outdoors. Again, if you're at the parade, they have the cooling stations in place, so that should help keep things a little bit more comfortable across the region. There is a threat of severe weather as we go through the afternoon. Fortunately, that will happen after the parade is over. We are expecting showers and thunderstorms to pop up later today, but I think everything should go just fine for the duration of the parade route. Chris, over to you.
All right, Audrey, thank you very much. You know, you mentioned those cooling stations. The organizers were prepared today. Jessica Formoso is actually at one of those cooling stations at Battery Place in Washington Street. Jess, what's it looking like over there? How are people cooling off?
Chris, well, very excited to be here with all these heroes, but I have to say it is very hot out here. And I'm right next to a cooling center. We're on Battery Place and Washington Street. Come on, I'll take a look at where this cooling center is. It's right here. It's a tent. Ooh, it feels so nice in here right now. So unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people know about the cooling center because we've been out here for hours now, and we've only seen one person in here. That's all, but we've been taking advantage of it. There's chairs, there's tables, and yes, there's some relief in here. There's two cooling centers in the parade route, one at the beginning and one at the end. Now, we did speak to those who are participating in the parade, the heroes, and also New Yorkers who tell us that they are doing whatever they can to keep cool. Take a listen.
First thing I did was shave my head. And then the second thing is have a nice hat on. You got to cover your head, and then lots of water, hydrate.
I'm getting worried about it, but I have my fan, I have my hat. Hopefully that will shield me a little bit, but you know, it should be fun.
Well, I've tried to wear as light clothing as possible, and of course we've all brought water, and that should hopefully keep us all nice and cool.
And the Office of Emergency Management, as well as the FDNY, has been giving out water bottles here throughout the entire morning, and they continue to do so. And you heard that man, he shaved his head for today to keep cool, people wearing light clothing, but definitely keep hydrated. And if you see a tent like this, there are two of them. Go inside, cool off for a bit, and, you know, just enjoy. It's a great day. It's hot, but it's all worth it. Like New Yorkers say, it's worth to thank all our heroes. So I'm going to stick around, but I'm going back in here, okay, Chris? So you stay cool, and I'll try to do the same.
Yeah, I think I would do exactly what you're doing. Go inside the cooling tent, especially if the other option is shaving my head. Jessica Formosa, thank you very much. All right, our coverage now shifts to Liberty and Broadway, where our very own Ryan Christopher is being joined by some of our hometown heroes. Ryan, who you got there?
Hey there, Chris. Well, we are just outside of Zuccotti Park here, and we are very excited to be chatting with some of these healthcare heroes that have been working all hard through the pandemic. And that's what today is really all about, is honoring you guys and everybody that's in the parade. So first of all, thank you guys for your service, for everything that you've done through the pandemic. And there you go. Thank you so much. So Patty Lynn, you're here with Northwell Health. Tell me about your experience and what you guys have done through the pandemic, and most of all, how you're feeling today to know that you guys are being honored.
How I'm feeling today? Incredible. It's an incredible moment to be here cheering on our colleagues and the rest of the heroes here, cheering on our leadership team who saw us through the entire thing. Just want to say thank you really to Michael Dowling, our CEO. He was there for everyone. No one ever felt forgotten. He was side by side with the nurses, and it was really incredible. And
explain a little bit about what your team has done through all this, because you guys played a pivotal role outside of the hospitals.
The exciting part is I sat in my boss's office the other day, David Seligman, Valley Stream, and he said, do you realize that you guys were on the front line of a global pandemic? And honestly, I knew it. We knew how important it was, but we were vaccinating, we were testing. We're not healthcare, we are healthcare heroes, but we're not clinicians. So for us to do that, it was just overwhelmingly intense. Scared, but we survived it, and always on the better side. And the fact is that we participated in something that was incredible, and that we may never hope to do again. I know I never hope to do it again, but it was amazing.
Well, we thank you guys for everything that you have done. And Miss, your name?
Yolanda Marsden.
Yolanda, tell us a little bit about your role through the pandemic with the hospital, and also how you're feeling today as you're being honored.
My role at the time at SIUH North was working as a medical assistant and of a COVID-19 swabber 7 days a week in order for the community to get back their lives again. And I'm sorry if I took a moment, but it's amazing to see everybody get back their lives, and to know that we all did it together, every part of the community, organizations, hospitals, and knowing that we're alive today to do this beautiful parade, and knowing that we were going forward on a better way to health.
Well, we can feel the passion in your story, and we want to thank you for everything that you have done. And that's what today is all about, whether you were a teacher or a bodega owner or a healthcare hero, whatever it is, everybody has played a very pivotal and important role in all this. So we're thanking all of these people today. Very well deserved. Oftentimes we shine the spotlight on athletes, celebrities, people like that, but today is about you guys and everybody that's in the parade. So we want to thank you one more time. Chris, we'll send it back on into you, and we'll be chatting with more healthcare heroes coming up in just a little bit.
Just incredible. She said it very well. It's a great day for us to just sort of celebrate getting back to normal, returning to our lives. Ryan, Christopher, thank you very much. Not everyone is all happy and all smiles and celebration today. There is some pushback over the parade. In fact, some essential workers have decided not to take part. Our Antoine Lewis is at City Hall Park right now. Antoine, what are you hearing down there?
Well, that is a controversial aspect of what is otherwise a true celebration of the heroes, those who pulled us through from where we were last year to get us to this point, similarly echoing what the young lady was just saying here, and Ryan Christopher said. Before we get into that, just to give you a scene setter, similar to what Lisa Evers was talking about in Miss Formoso, the loud sounds that you're hearing, which is why I'm talking a little bit more elevated, is the Harlem Marching Cobras, the drum band, who's right here entertaining us at Broadway and Murray, right on the west side of City Hall. But to go back to what we were talking about, there are some unions that have decided to boycott this event. We're talking about the firefighters, Uniform Firefighters Association, paramedics and EMTs, all deciding to just sit this one out for reasons that are personal, and some would say very understandable, as was discussed and explained to us on Good Day earlier this morning.
They didn't even acknowledge the men and women that died from COVID as a line of duty death. You're asking us to participate in an event that you're not even acknowledging. We had 5 men who died from COVID while performing their duties. We had 3 of them commit suicide because of this pandemic. They've seen so much death, and yet you're not even acknowledging them, and you want us to march along with you. This is just a show for them. This is nothing to do with honoring us or respecting us. The only way you can respect us is by allowing us to have affordable living. We're just asking for equal pay for equal work. We respond to the same calls as other 911 responders. We work side by side with them. They're able to maintain a roof over their head. We're not. We're living in shelters, in cars, in friends' couches. It's disgraceful.
Again, very passionate speaking there from the head of the union that was there explaining the reasons why his union was not going to be a part of this event. That said, there was still a lot of energy out here, echoing what Ms. Formoso, Ms. Urchin, and everyone else was saying. Mr. Christopher, to tell you about that now. In a little bit, we're going to be able to show you what's going on behind me, because we do have somewhat of a crowd here, but they are staying under the scaffolding because, as Ms. Puente pointed out, it is seriously hot out here. But we're going to send things back inside to you right now, and we'll see you in a little bit.
I know, I'm feeling real guilty sitting in this air-conditioned studio. Antoine, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We want to go back to Dana Arshin, who was live at the start of the parade just a few minutes ago. Dana, is that where you are right now, or have you moved as the parade has moved?
Yeah, so we're still at the start of the parade and probably won't be able to move because of all the barricades that are here. Every crew is kind of set up in their own specific area. 20 minutes into the parade and still a lot going on. I'll show you right now. Let's have Barron zoom in. We have a Department of DOT truck right now ready to pull the next float. It's a Northwell float. Northwell is actually the hospital that Sandra Lindsay, the first one to get her vaccine. She's with that hospital, and we have a lot of floats after that. So it's nice. It's moving slowly, giving people a good chance to see everything going on here. Now we have Barron zoomed into some bagpipers who are ready to go. We had the honor to listen to them this morning. They were practicing. They sounded great. And actually, even though the heat, it's getting hotter and hotter out here, more and more people are coming out. We spoke with someone who was running by and someone who was riding her bike, and they didn't even realize that the parade was going on today. So they were really excited just to kind of have stumbled across it. We're also showing more people coming right now. I think Barron is showing us just the line of spectators here, and a lot of people really just so excited to be here. Everyone said that they were out here for different reasons. Some people supporting teachers, others out here because they know someone who suffered from COVID, other people who really feel that first responders saved so many lives. So it's really beautiful to hear everyone's different perspective. We have someone over there on a red vehicle. Barron's showing me that he's zooming in. I believe they're waving to us. So yeah, a lot of people just very excited to be out here, but also remembering the somber moment, all the lives that we lost. So very bittersweet, but really it is a day of celebration. Let me send it back to you, Chris.
Dana, I want to ask you, how are the crowds down there, crowd sizes? Do people seem like they're turning out down there at the start of the parade, or is it kind of thin because of the heat?
Oh, absolutely. And actually, Barron, let me have you pan here. They're asking about crowd sizes. So I'll show you some people along the water here who are lining up. I would say everyone is pretty scattered. No one is really on top of each other. It's not very, very crowded down here, but there are people along every step of the route. So yeah, people are out here, braving the heat. I do see some people coming and going, like the biker and the jogger I told you about. So they were excited to watch the beginning of it, but they did say it was getting a little too hot for them. So, people just coming and going, but really glad just to be part of it in any capacity.
That's right. Well, anyone who's watching who's planning to head down there, bring the sunscreen, bring the hat, and keep in mind there are cooling stations down there. Jessica Formoso, I think we've got her, who was showing us one of those cooling stations a few minutes ago. There weren't that many people in there at the time, but I know, Jessica, have you been walking around the streets telling people about it, reminding them that those exist?
Yes, that's right, Chris. I've been telling people, hey, if you need to stay cool, go into that cooling center. I'm walking with the parade here right now, and I have Miracle. She's from the New York City Crisis Management. She was so sweet. Look, she ran over to give me this towel. She's like, in case you need it, because you're sweating. I know I am sweating. The hair had to go up. But just tell me, how are you dealing with this heat?
It's a lot, but I'm happy to be at the parade.
And how are you keeping cool?
I'm keeping cool with lots and lots of water. Lots and lots of water.
I see this was so sweet of you to come over to give me this. Why did you do that? You saw that I was sweating?
And I actually created that.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miracle. Enjoy the parade, and thank you. Thank you for all your work. Really, thank you. You be safe and stay cool. But yeah, it's really hot out here, Chris. I'm not going to lie. You can see people with umbrellas here trying to keep cool, people drinking water. Sir, how hot is it? Tell me how hot.
It's hot, but it's nice. It's a good day to be out here.
The heat didn't stop you, I see.
No, it won't stop us.
So tell me, what made you come out here in this heat?
We're celebrating all the work of the first responders.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. You be well. And you, I see the umbrella. Let me get down. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You had the good idea of bringing the umbrella today.
Thank you to UFD and CSA.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, Chris, you see everybody here with a hat, with an umbrella, with water, but they all tell me the same thing, that they were not going to miss this parade. They want to honor the heroes. They want to thank them. And they say, you know what? This is the least they can do to say thank you to all these heroes and the heroes themselves who are out here in this weather. We want to say thank you again. They do so much for our city. They have and they continue to do. And yes, thank you so much. But you see them all with the umbrellas, with the hats, water, keep cool. And Chris, you in there, I'm a little jealous. You stay nice and cool in the AC
I feel really bad.
Here.
Jess, I feel really bad, but you're out there in the midst of it, in the middle of all that excitement. It looks like marchers are kind of coming a little more in bigger numbers as the parade is going by. 23 minutes in now. Is that fair to say?
That's right. That's right. You know, there's sometimes you see a little slow down, but there's still more to come. More marchers back there. Roy is showing you all these marchers. Here's the fire department. Thank you. Thank you. But yes, there's a lot more, and there's a lot more people. A lot of New Yorkers stopping by. You know, they're walking by and they're stopping to say thank you. They're taking videos. And this woman here, Roy. Look, she's sweating too.
Well, we are.
And it's hot, right?
Super hot.
What made you come out here in this weather?
I wanted to support my people. Hospital workers.
Hospital workers. So you see it. New Yorkers, they're here to support our heroes. But Chris, like I said, you stay cool and I'll continue to sweat it out here, all right? We'll check in later.
Make use of that cooling station. I want you to do some of that before the hour's over. Jess, thank you very much. I think we're going to go back to Lisa Evers, who earlier when we spoke was at Chambers and Broadway. Lisa, what's the scene there now?
Well, Chris, we saw the first band at the very start of the parade. They just made their way past us here at Broadway and Chambers. You can see behind me there's the police officers, there's also the sanitation workers and supervisors. That's the official end of the parade. But there are more crowds. You can see people coming in here, filling in, trying to get a glimpse of this parade and support our heroes. And I want to introduce you to a family here. We have Darlene and her daughter Naisha. And Darlene, and goddaughter.
Yes.
And what made you want to come out here today and show support?
My daughter works for Con Edison, so we're out here to support her and cheer her on. That they did a very great job. The nursing homes, the hospitals, you know, just keeping the lights on, the air on, and everything.
Ventilators.
Yes, for the pandemic, because New York was just like in a standstill, and they kept it going. They kept it going. So I'm very proud of her that she was to be a part of that.
And keeping the electricity going and the air conditioning and the fans going now.
Yes, especially now. Yes, yeah. And this heat wave. Yes, very proud.
And did work in the pandemic take a toll on her in any kind of way that you saw?
Well, honestly, she loves to work. So when it first started, they had them staying at home. But then they called them back, and she's been like trooping it ever since. Yes, and I'm very proud
of her and everybody else?
Yes, the whole everybody, the police, the garbage man, everybody, you know, because, you know, being in contact with this disease and with all of this stuff going on.
It separated us, but it separated us, but now we're back together. Naisha, what about you? How are you feeling today with the whole vibe over here? Come in a little closer, please.
I feel very grateful. I feel thankful. We're enjoying this sunny day, supporting our fellow people that we love, and I'm just having a good time. I'm here to support, cheer on, and show love and gratitude.
All right, there you have it. Support, show love, and gratitude. We're live along the end of the parade route here at Broadway and Chambers. Chris, back to you in the studio.
Lisa, are people putting up with the heat down where you are? Are they taking it in stride?
Oh yeah, they are. They're under the shade. People are moving. They have their water bottles. They have their fans, and you know, we're all sweating out here. But that's what it is. It's just really nice to have something like this. What, you know, the parades that New York City does, all the great parades, nobody does it better. And just to see people out and see these, you know, even the barricades. It's like things are happening again, and that's the feeling that a lot of people are having here.
Things are happening
really good,
again.
Really positive, despite the small crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's a really good way
again.
to put it. We're finally back to doing things again and getting our lives back. Lisa, thank you much.
Right.
Let's go back to I think we've got a few more live pictures here as we watch the Hometown Heroes Parade. Kicked off just about 27 minutes ago, the very first float stepped off. We saw Dana Arshan down there at Battery Place. Hospital workers were the first ones in line. We are celebrating everyone today, from hospital workers, healthcare workers, education, first responders, community care, city workers. It is hot, but I tell you what, based on looking at these live pictures that we're seeing here today, the heat is not keeping any of the celebrations or the party-like atmosphere at Bay today. All you see are a lot of smiles, and granted, you got a lot of people in hats, you got a lot of people with umbrellas. The smart thing to do, the city, as we've mentioned, has got cooling stations out there. But man, what a scene in downtown in Lower Manhattan right now along the Canyon of Heroes, the traditional parade route for New York City. Ticker tape parades. We are going to take our first quick break, but we're going to come back right after this with more of the Hometown Heroes Parade right here on Fox 5.
It's hard to hear what you're saying right now. It's because the drum line's coming through right here. Battalion, New York. Let's see if we can talk to somebody. Uh-oh. Miss, what's up? How you feeling today? I have no idea what she just said, but I'm sure she's having a good time. That's what today is all about, a celebration of our hometown heroes, whether it's a bodega owner or a teacher. It's all about them today. And a lot of music and revelry happening as well. We have to come over and talk to some of our new friends over here from United Healthcare. Lorna?
Yes. Hi, I'm here to say I'm to support the unrecognized essential workers. During the COVID, it was so bad. We have to do a 15-hour shift, go home, come right back. On the train, sometimes we can't get on because we was not recognized as essential workers. But I'm here today to support essential workers.
And Lorna, tell us a little bit about what you and your organization has done through the pandemic, because it was very, very important for a group of people that sometimes is overlooked.
Well, as I said, there wasn't enough staff because most people was afraid to come out. For those of us who were there, sometimes we have to do all 4 shifts. There wasn't enough people, but we went through and we overcome. So at this point, I just want to say that it was very tough, and we're still going through, make support groups so we could talk to each other through. We cried together, but we still came out and support the people who really needed our help.
You guys certainly did a lot. They were working with people with disabilities throughout the pandemic. So, ladies, we want to thank everybody here for all that you did. And look at this right here. This is a beautiful sight, a lot to celebrate right here. Looks like CVS, perhaps. No, the healthcare workers. Here they are right here. The ticker tape is falling down. People are cheering up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Sir, thank you for everything that you did through the pandemic.
Thank you.
Absolutely. How are you feeling today? Obviously, it's been a difficult time for everybody, but today it's about celebration.
It's amazing. City did a phenomenal job. I'm just so thankful to everyone. Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate everything that you have done, and it looks like we have another float right over here. It says, "No stop in New York." Some more essential workers right up there, giving them some waves there. Say hi, hey! Make some noise. Sir, why don't you tell us a little bit about what this day means to you? It's been about 18 months since the start of the pandemic for you guys to be here today to celebrate.
It's an encouraging change that we're being recognized for the hard work that we do. It's been very challenging and very stressful. It's a nice change to see all this encouragement and love, and to be around people going through the same thing that we're going through.
What was the most difficult part for you as a healthcare hero working through the pandemic?
Just trying to make it through day to day. I just thank God that I have my health, and that I have the strength to be there, not only for my patients, but also for my coworkers.
Right. For your family and your loved ones. So we want to thank you for everything that you have done, seriously. And look, we've got even more. I mean, the lines just continue, hospital after hospital. This one right here, Columbia. Ladies, come on over. Isn't this super cool today? How are you guys feeling?
We're excited to be here. This is very cool.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about your role through the pandemic. What were you guys doing?
So we're actually dental students, so we've been advocating for dental students to go out and vaccinate and help with the COVID relief efforts. And we've just been trying to do our part as dental students, and it's been incredible, and this is the most surreal thing ever. Very surreal. Yeah.
Well, you guys deserve all of the credit and love, and we've seen a lot of that, different organizations stepping up and helping people out in ways that they didn't before. You just heard from those dental students who were helping with vaccination. More nurses right here. How you doing, miss? How are you?
I'm fine.
How you feeling?
Great, great. I wish all the healthcare workers could be here today, because we had it real hard, but we made it.
There's a lot of positivity in the air. Oh.
NYPD nurses. I just retired after 31 years, medical division. And I'm elated. My name is Yvette Simmons.
Well, Yvette, thank you for everything again. NYPD nurse, just retired, and it's people like Yvette right there that we are honoring from all over the 5 boroughs and beyond. And look at this, a little entertainment to go along. Chris, we'll send it back on into you. But don't dance too hard in studio.
I wish I were down there dancing live in person, Ryan Christopher. I love that one float said there's, I think, what was it, no stopping New York? There's no stop in New York, especially on a day like today, but there's no stopping you either. We appreciate you being down there in the heat, Ryan Christopher. I want to try to bring in Audrey Puente here because we saw a blizzard of ticker tape, of confetti there flying. I think a lot of people down there would appreciate some real snow right about now. What do you think?
Possibly so, but there's a lot of factors that are actually in our favor here. The ticker tape say, was coming out really nicely, Chris, because the winds are nice and light. So it's falling, like you said, like snowflakes out in lower Manhattan. And those dancers that we just saw, they actually were smart. They started their dance just past the sun line there. They were in the shade. And that's also what's all working in the favor here of all the spectators and the participants. Being that we're in lower Manhattan here, we do have the tall buildings that are providing some shade from time to time as the route is moving along. There are some sunny spots. In those sunny spots, yes, it does feel uncomfortable. Currently, the temperature is at about 84 degrees in New York City at the moment, which is our normal high for the day. Although 84 is not that unbearable, considering we've had 90-degree heat, the dew point is making it feel very uncomfortable. That's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere, and we see readings at about 65 or greater. That's when it starts to feel really oppressive. We're at 70 degrees right now with the dew point, so that is what's making it feel more uncomfortable. Luckily, there are some cooling centers in the area. There's also some water stations. I see a lot of folks are heeded the warnings that we do have across the region with the heat, and they are wearing umbrellas. I see hats out there. Those are things you can do to keep cool if you're going to be outside today. I also see a lot of spectators standing in the shade. We do have some trees lining some of the parts of the parade route, and again, the tall buildings are also providing some shade, so that's also a plus here. But of course, you know, they're taking it slow. You can see them walking at a nice leisurely pace there. Some folks that are on some of the floats that are seeing some of that sunshine beating down, I guess they're keeping cool there with their fans. That's what it looks like to me, Chris. What do you think?
That's right. Audrey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We want to go quickly to Lisa Evers, who I believe is standing by with Police Commissioner Dermot Shea as we speak. Lisa, take it away.
Here we are. Hey, Chris, we caught up with Police Commissioner Dermot Shea here, talking with the kids from one of the schools, and he's been talking with them and just celebrating this whole day and all the work that the NYPD officers and all the divisions did during the pandemic.
This may turn into a future recruiting drive right here, but just came out to see the parade. A nice day. Thank the officers and everyone else for being here, and a little hot, but overall a nice day.
A lot of challenges the NYPD faced with it in terms of manpower, in terms of changing duties, additional duties, all of that. Just give us a sense of how you feel about how they did.
It was a crazy year, certainly a lot of sacrifice. You know, my first thoughts are to the men and women that we lost. We lost 57 members. But when you also think about all the people, especially the doctors, the nurses, the EMTs, and then you can go on from there. It really is. It's just a nice day to celebrate all that we went through, all that we came out of, and to thank everyone that always came to work. So it's a nice day.
And it feels good just to be out here talking with people and like normal.
I nowhere I would rather be than walking around talking to people, and it's great to be outside.
All right, guys.
What do you think, guys?
What do you think, guys?
Good.
You having fun?
Yeah. I gotta go to mini
golf. A police officer one day.
I want to be an astronaut.
Oh, astronaut.
I want to be a train driver.
I want to be a reporter. Oh, wait, I already am. Okay.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, and best of luck to everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Guys, what do you think about this?
Good.
Good? Good?
Good. Yes. Yes.
Good. Okay. All right, great. Chris, excuse me a second. We're just, Commissioner's very popular over here with the kids, and we had to tear him away for a minute. But it just, I can't emphasize enough. You know, I've covered a lot of parades here in New York City, from the Puerto Rican Day Parade, the Super Bowl champion parades, to the Pride March, all kinds of parades here. And I have to tell you, this ranks right up there with the best of all of those events in terms of the positive vibes and the energy. People are just so happy to be doing something that is so quintessentially New York, a parade. And even in the heat, even though we're all sweating and, you know, whatever, that's the way it is. But everyone's just happy to be out here, that the pandemic is over, that things are reopening, and that we are on the other side of this and moving forward. So that's what's going on here, Chris, right now.
That's right. Lisa Evers, we appreciate it. By the way, tell the commissioner I think he's a little overdressed for this heat. Shirt and tie and a jacket and all that. All right, Lisa, we appreciate it. Thank you.
He's the commissioner. He's got to, you know.
He's got to look the part, right? Yeah. All right. Lisa, thank you. We appreciate it. All right, it looks like I believe we have some video of de Blasio riding on one of the floats from a few minutes ago. Do we have that, Max? Oh, it's live video. De Blasio dancing, I'm told. Oh, if we get that turned around, we'll bring that to you. But for now, oh, there's, let's see, FDNY EMS pipes. Oh, there's the mayor right there. He was dancing a second ago.
Everybody who make the hospitals work in this crisis, you are our heroes. Thank you. Okay, Mount Sinai, there you go. That's a rowdy group, Mount Sinai, right?
All right, we just heard a little bit of Mayor de Blasio there, having some words for the crowd. Jessica Formoso is still standing by. She's outside one of those cooling tents. You're standing in the blazing sun right now. I think you need to hop inside one of those, Jess.
Chris, you're right. I should be in there, right? But no, because all New Yorkers, all these heroes are out here. They're sweaty, but they're having a good time, and so am I. It doesn't matter. I got my little towel from Miracle. You heard her earlier. She made these towels, and she brought one over to me. She's like, you're sweating. Here you go. So I thank her for that. But yes, it's hot. The city has 2 cooling centers, 2 tents like this, one here in the beginning of the route, then one at the end of the route. OEM is also here giving water. The fire department also giving bottles of water. But look, I want to, Joy, my photographer, is going to turn around. Yes, New York City Health. You know, they're out here. Is that hot coffee?
My name is Gary.
And Gary, is that hot coffee?
No, this is Gatorade.
Gatorade. You see, that's a good idea.
That does bad, but we can't drink that stuff in New York.
I know. So how are you dealing with the heat?
Well, drink a lot of Gatorade. It'll help pick you up.
Got it.
You should ask, how do we fight the virus? That's the question.
Well, that's my next question. I want to thank you and for being out here, for doing all the work that you have done throughout this pandemic. Tell me, how do you feel to be honored today?
I think it's great, but more so because I was able to help New Yorkers during this pandemic. When I had the virus, I didn't take the sick leave. What I decided to do was work through it. It encouraged me, and I beat the virus.
And what did you do? Tell us the work that you did for all New York.
Well, I tried to get people who lost their job free health insurance. And I really helped a lot of people with the bars, with the restaurants, and they were just so encouraged to at least to speak to somebody from the city that could help them.
Absolutely. Thank you for all your work and such an important part that you played during this recovery now, and really just thank you. Thank you for all your work. And just stay cool, drink that Gatorade.
Thank you.
But you see, Chris, you hear them. They're out here, the marchers. It doesn't matter that it's really hot. They are honored to be here, and they want to walk in this heat. Same like New Yorkers who are lined up to watch the parade. They say it's the least we can do to thank our heroes. So, you know, as we keep walking and trying to stay cool, we'll see what else is happening. But again, there are 2 cooling centers, one at the beginning, one at the end of the parade route. There was going to be a ceremony at 2 o'clock after the parade was over, but that is canceled due to the heat. But just stay cool, and you, obviously, I don't have to tell you again, you already are cool in there, Chris. I send things back to you.
But Jess, I'm missing out on all the excitement down there, and I love the pro tip from him too. Don't drink hot coffee, put Gatorade in there instead. And Jess, you got water handy. I hope you're standing in front of a bottle of water or a few bottles of water for you and the crew.
I do. We're good. You know what? We're New Yorkers.
Exactly.
So we are tough out here, just like everybody out here. We're good. Don't worry about us. It's just the makeup. No big deal.
Exactly. And we're seeing no shortage of smiles whatsoever. There's not a single person down there who's going to be complaining about the weather today based on everything going around them. Right, Jess?
That's right. Everyone is just really excited, Chris. Everyone's having really a good time. You can hear them behind cheering. Even the people, New Yorkers, who are walking by and stopping and cheering them on. I mean, it's really just a great day. And I have to say, a little emotional, too, when you think back of everything we have overcome, and to think that these men and women really risk their own lives to save the lives of others. It's just amazing. And really, I am honored, truly honored to be out here in this heat, whatever it is, rain, hot, it doesn't matter. I want to thank them as well for their work.
Absolutely. It's incredible. Please thank them all on our behalf as well. Jess, I know before there weren't a lot of people using the cooling tents. Do you want to pop your head in? Are you still standing next to it? See if anyone else is actually using that?
I am. Yeah, look, here's Roy. Roy and I are walking. He's going to open the door. And no one's using it, which I'm actually pretty surprised. I have to say, though, and I don't want to blame the city, but there is no signs. Like, they don't say anything. It doesn't say cooling center. It's me out here saying there's a cooling center. So I wish there was a big sign that would have said cooling center, stay cool. So there's no sign, and it's a tent. So I can see why people would just walk by and totally miss it. You know?
And I've got to say, Jess, when they talked about cooling centers... When they talked about cooling centers and areas to cool off, I thought maybe they meant, you know, those misters or something like that. This is a full-on air-conditioned building almost. It kind of looks like, you know, an emergency tent.
Oh, yeah. Take a look. I mean, here, look. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It was provided by the FDNY. You can see, look, the wind, the air, the winds, the air. It just looked windy, but it's the air. Oh, it feels so good. It does work, guys. So you need to stay cool. Come in here. Look. It works, Chris, it works.
There you go. There you go.
There are chairs here. There's about 15 chairs. There's 2 tables. people take advantage of it. But I get it. You know what?
You don't want to miss the excitement.
Everyone's having fun out there. Nobody wants to be in here.
Exactly. You go in there, you miss the good stuff. Jess, all right, go back outside. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, where are we going next? We're looking at a live look at the streets down there in Lower Manhattan. We're going to go to Antoine Lewis right now, who is standing by. Antoine, what are you seeing? What are you feeling down there?
Well, just to let you know, the video that you saw of the mayor dancing is actually happening just south of where photojournalist Dave Corporon and I are. Dave is giving you a look at what's going on right now because this is the bandstand, if you will, where all of the mayors, the dignitaries, the people that are here, the special guests, this is where they are assembling. So what you're looking at, if you notice in there, it may have died down just a little bit, is actually some of the ticker tape. It's been shot off 3 times in the time that we've been here at Broadway and Murray, and you can still see some of it swirling around, blue, orange, white, and that's what's going on there. So yeah, that dance with the mayor and the first lady is actually taking place just a little bit south of where we are. But echoing what Lisa and what Ms. Formoso, Ryan Christopher, Ms. Arshin, everyone is talking about the vibe and the energy. It is absolutely like that where we are just north of me, walking by just now. Some of our heroes that we're honoring, the hospital workers, their float just went by. The mayor, as you know, rode with the New York State Hospital Association float, so those were the one that dropped him off just there. Across the street, if I can step out of the way, David, if you would, and you can see people are gathered underneath the scaffolding that are right there to talk about being protected from the shade, as Ms. Pointe's been talking about throughout the whole show, because it is still warm out here, and even though we are in a shaded area, you can still feel the heat coming from the ground up with all of that. So those are those people that are over there. We can tell you we've got American flags that are going on. We've got people coming on that are walking by, and just want to bring into focus right now, right here, I see more nurses. Hi, you're live with Fox 5. Real quickly, look right there at me. Just tell us what brought you down today.
Yes, I am receiving my diploma. It's a confirmation as a nurse that I'm worthy of acknowledgement of my 31 years of service as a nurse for NYPD Medical Division. I just retired, and I am just elated. I am so excited to be marching for welfare, wellness for society. I have done my job, and this is a diploma.
Congratulations from Fox 5 on your diploma, my dear, and on your retirement. Real quickly with you, you've got Sinai Strong. Are you from Mount Sinai?
From Mount Sinai West, and I'm here to represent. Thank you, everybody, for everything you've done for us. Okay. We're very thankful.
We'll let you get back. Stay hydrated. Stay safe. Thank you so much from all of us for what you're doing, and congratulations again. There, watch your step right there. You be careful. Again, like we were talking about, the energy, the good vibes, the cables that we're trying not to step on, a lot of that is going on down here, and a lot more of that to come. But we're going to send things now back inside to you.
Careful that cable down there, Antoine. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We are going to go now to Dana Arshin, who I believe is still near the step-off point. Dana, what's it looking like right now?
You know, it's really, really special to be part of this parade, but to be right at the starting point, because just like everyone else, we get to see every float, but what's extra special is that we see the participants preparing, the nervousness beforehand, the anticipation, the excitement. We got to hear the marching band, so I think we get the best of both worlds down here, seeing the start. All right, Barron's pointing behind me. That means he's pointing to the next float coming on. This is FDNY truck pulling, looks like a Google float. What was also amazing, we just saw a big MTA bus come by with all the windows open, and the MTA workers were waving and screaming. It was so exciting. So you just missed that, but my friends and colleagues along the parade route are about to see that soon. And with me right now is a spectator who is very smart. I saw him standing in the shade. Stephen, come on over. All right, we'll have you stand right there. Let the viewers get a good look at your face. Square your body a little bit like that. Perfect. All right, so Stephen, you're from Battery Park.
Correct.
One, you were smart to get in the shade over there, but why did you feel like it was so important to come out here today?
I am very proud of my city. I think I love it. It's the best place to live in the world.
And what is it about this parade that I saw you applauding and cheering everyone? What is it about that made you feel so excited?
These are the real people of New York, the people that make New York go. It's just a wonderful thing to be here, and I am proud of my city, and I love it. And I also have a thing for bagpipes.
Yeah, they're amazing, and all these marching bands. So who are you out here with today? How are you guys feeling about the heat?
Well, the heat is something. I kind of like the heat. The heat is better than cold.
And do you know someone affected by COVID? Anyone who suffered at all? And do you know any first responders?
Thankfully, not immediate. Of course, as things radiate out, there are people, but we have been very fortunate.
And the best float you've seen so far? Anything that resonated with you?
The best floats. As I say, I have a thing for bagpipes, but everyone here is wonderful, so it's just a great day.
And my last question, why do you think, we know that NYPD, FDNY, we know they're heroes, but what is it about the everyday person, the grocery store worker, the heroes at, utility companies, all these companies that we might not think of? What is it about honoring them that makes this day so unique?
Well, it's about time. We've seen how important they are. They are what make the city run. So, yes, they deserve our applause and our honor.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You've been hanging out in the heat waiting to be interviewed by me, so thank you so much.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
All right, so again, there's still, looks like there are several more floats to go. We have more marching bands lined up. The next one is the Lesbian and Gay Big Apple Corps. Barron's pointing. He's going to go in that direction over there. They were really rowdy earlier, really excited. So New York City's Lesbian and Gay Big Apple Corps marching band. So again, another band that we've been hearing practice all day long. So really so exciting over here. I know it's not as loud as maybe the rest of the parade, but again, just to be able to see them all prepare is really so amazing. I'm going to send it back to you, Chris. If you ask me a question, I'm not going to be able to hear it because my IFB, my earpiece, just stopped working. So I'm going to send it back to you now.
That's all right. Dana Arshin, we appreciate all the work in the middle of this heat today. I got to tell you what, I want to go to someone who I think has got one of the better locations along the route today. Ryan Christopher, you've got a block that looks like you got some pretty good shade coverage there, and you got a lot of people that are just plain excited.
Oh, the energy is electric down here, Chris, and I have to say, I kind of had a moment where I just stopped and I got the chills. This is part of New York City history, and really for everybody watching right now, after what we went through right now, you can see the jubilation of people lining the streets, having fun, laughing, smiling, and honoring all of our heroes here in New York City. And look at this right here. We got some music here for you. Just take a quick listen to this right here. That's the Emerald Society Pipes and Drums of the FDNY. A group of men and women that were so pivotal during the pandemic. And let's see who else we have coming up next here. Let's see. It says clap because we care, and that's what this is all about, honoring these people and clapping for them and making some noise. How are you guys feeling today?
We're feeling great. We're happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. And we're happy to have him here and all of these people as well. It's great just to meet a lot of random people out here in the streets like this woman right here, Miss. How are you feeling today to see all these people being honored and showing them some appreciation?
I'm great. I'm feeling wonderful, and I'm thanking them for all the wonderful work they have done during the challenging year we had last year. It has been an amazing ride, but thank God we have gotten over it. And there's light at the end of the tunnel.
That there certainly is. As we take another look out here on the parade route, there's more ticker tape coming down right there down Broadway, and it is certainly a sight to see, a sea of people. Earlier this morning, we really didn't know what the turnout would be, and now you just hear the cheers and a lot of smiles. You excited, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. CWA, a lot of unions out here. Let's talk to some other people right here. New York City Department of Social Services. Miss, how you doing?
Hey, thank you. New York City, we love you so much. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you. We love you.
And that about sums it up right there, Chris. That gentleman right there. New York City, we love you. These people are just so happy to be out in the streets and to be honored here today, and it's a privilege just to watch it.
Oh, man. Ryan, I know we're in the air-conditioned studio down here. It's nice, but I really am kind of envious because that looks like such a great place to be. It's going to be a memorable time. All right, Ryan, thank you very much. That's it for now. You can stream it all on our website, fox5ny.com. We're going to have much more coverage coming up on the noon right after this.
Want a great way to stay informed? Check out the Good Day New York Morning Brief. Get the latest breaking news and top stories at the start of the day. Wake up, grab your coffee, and stay connected to what's happening in your area and around the country. Go to fox5ny.com and subscribe to the Good Day New York Morning Brief. With so much happening every day, it's important to stay informed. Sign up today and get the Good Day New York Morning Brief sent directly to your email.
Thank you, everyone. Auxiliary police, thank you.
Out to our viewers was coming from your doorsteps, if you will. Was there a moment last year when you just said, oh my? Did you have an aha moment that you can just think of to share with us when you look back on where we were a year ago?
So, you know, I still live in New York City, and my neighbors in Fort Greene and Clinton Hill and Prospect Heights and Crown Heights, they went door to door providing food to seniors. checking on individuals who are sick, who are socially isolated, those who are disabled. That's really the spirit of New York and the spirit of this country. And that's the lesson that really should be learned, that we are united and we should not allow these artificial constructs to divide us. All of us should stand together to keep our nation and our city strong. And that's what this parade is all about, the strength, the tenacity, and the determination of New York.
Madam Attorney General, thank you so much. You did the elbow a little while ago, so we'll keep it right up. Thank you so much for talking to us and for sharing with our viewers. Again, that is the energy. That is what's going on down here where we are at Broadway and Murray. Before I send it back, just to help set the scene a little bit, you'll notice some of the ticker tape is actually blowing because this is where it's being shot from, right next to the bandstand, if you will, where the mayor, where Commissioner Nigro, and all of the other officials have gathered where we are. But this is the very latest from this location along the route. We're going to send our coverage back inside to you in the studio, sir.
A lot of energy down there. Antoine, we appreciate it. Nice interview. Thank you very much. There's also a lot of energy down near the step-off point. Dana Arshan is live down there. She's been down there all morning. Dana, set the scene for us right where you are.
Hi there, Chris. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, the parade started over an hour ago, and it's still right here at the beginning, still going strong. Actually, right here, this is the next marching band to take to the street. They've been really excited and practicing all morning, and there's still several more floats as far as we can see. I see Con Ed in the back. I see small businesses and bodega. So really, the energy down here also really, really great. And as I mentioned in an earlier newscast, we had spoken to spectators who had not been out in a crowd like this in almost a year and a half. So to come out for the first time to a large event and to have it be this one really was so important. Barron's also going to show you some officers right now. It says thank you to our essential workers, and this is a Mount Sinai float. And right now, again, we're at the start of the route. 14 floats had been lined up here all morning, and they are now making their way up the Canyon of Heroes. Now, this route has seen its fair share of heroes being honored here since the 1880s. Most recently, the U.S. women's soccer team in 2019 after winning its second World Cup championship. But today is really a time to honor our city's essential workers in healthcare, education, transportation, hospitality, delivery, utility, grocery, and so many other industries. Heroes who got us through this pandemic, so many of them putting their own lives at risk every day, and so many of these heroes saving the lives of New Yorkers at a time when COVID rates were spiking and hospitals were overflowing. Now, we spoke with a few participants of the parade. Many of them were marching band members. We also spoke to spectators, and all of them had very different reasons for being out here, and they shared those important reasons with us. We also got a chance to speak to Sandra Lindsay right before the parade started. She's the Northwell nurse who was the first in the country to get the vaccine.
I'm serving as Grand Marshal today, so that's very exciting. I'm honored to be serving in this capacity.
How many teachers we got up in here? Raise your hand.
We kept the education going. We kept the learning going while the city was shut down, while the world was shut down.
It's always important to honor and celebrate anybody who has gone out of their way, regardless of salary or their time or, you know, just for other human beings.
And for those of you just tuning in, a reminder, the parade is starting here in Battery Park. It is traveling upward on Broadway to City Hall, and there was supposed to be a big ceremony there, but Mayor de Blasio decided to cancel it because of the heat. I can attest it is hot and it's only getting hotter, but that is not keeping people, New Yorkers, from coming out here. There are also cooling stations and water stations set up throughout the route. Let me send it back to you, Chris.
All right. Yep. Dana, I know you can attest. Antoine can attest. The heat playing a huge role down there in the celebration. But the city making sure people stay cool. She just alluded to those cooling stations. We've got our live Fox 5 reporter, Jessica Formoso, there now with the latest. Jess, looks pretty good in there.
Haha, Chris. I got smart, Chris. I got smart. I'm inside, and the wind, the air is blowing, and I feel so much better. But yes, there are two cooling centers, one here at the beginning of the parade and one at the end, but no one's taking advantage of it. Look, it's just us. It's me and Roy enjoying some nice, cool air conditioning tent. But, you know, we've been out there all along with, and you saw that, with New Yorkers, with the heroes, and they don't even care that it's hot and it continues to get hotter. They are happy to be here. They're happy to be getting honored. And New Yorker spectators say that that's the least they can do, that the weather did not keep them home. We did speak to a couple of people, those who were participating in the parade before they started lining up. And, you know, they were prepared. They were prepared for this weather. They got the water, they got the hats, they got the umbrellas, the fans. Take a listen.
First thing I did was shave my head. And then the second thing is have a nice hat on. You got to cover your head, and then lots of water. Hydrate.
I'm getting worried about it, but I have my fan, I have my hat. Hopefully that will shield me a little bit, but, you know, it should be fun.
Well, I've tried to wear as light clothing as possible, and of course we've all brought water, and that should hopefully keep us all nice and cool.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to come back out because I think it's time for me to come back out. So, yeah, it's really hot out here. Like I said, if you see a tent like this color, this is where you can stay cool. Then you can also expect some water. People are handing out water. The Office of Emergency Management has been out here, FDNY, handing out water. So making sure that New Yorkers are keeping cool. But, yes, but it's a great time out here. You know, right now things are a little slow here at the start of the parade, but I'm sure Antoine and Lisa, who are further up ahead, are going to bring you guys great interviews. But all I can say is enjoy, stay cool, drink lots of water, and take a shower once you get home. Chris, back to you in the studio.
Right. Jess, thank you. I think the fact that there's no one inside that cooling tent is just a testament to the fact that New Yorkers want to get out there and celebrate and pay tribute to all these essential workers. It's a beautiful thing to see. Jess, thank you very much. We appreciate it. But let's stay with the weather. How hot is it exactly? Let's bring in Audrey Puente for a look outside. Audrey, what's it looking like?
Well, you know, Chris, those parade goers are actually setting a really good example about how to beat the heat today. A lot of them have umbrellas. They're wearing light-colored and lightweight clothing and staying in the shade. It is hot outside. Currently, we have temperatures in the upper 80s. We're already in the 90s down towards Atlantic City. And as you can see, we have plenty of sunshine out there, which really isn't helping things, helping us make we feel more comfortable across the tri-state area. A look at the satellite and radar shows that we're nice and dry. Clear skies out there. The clouds will start to roll in, and then later this afternoon, there is the potential for a few showers and storms. The dew points are reflecting a very humid and uncomfortable air mass in place. That's what's really the problem today. When we factor that in with the current temperatures, it's feeling like the 90s already in a lot of spots, and it will continue to be that way through the afternoon. We have 95 in Islip, 95 in New York City for the heat index, 99 already in Newark, and we have a heat advisory in effect until 8 o'clock tonight as heat index values will exceed the 90-degree mark. It looks like for much of the area right through the rest of the afternoon. Another concern is later this afternoon we could have some severe thunderstorms. We're under a slight risk for severe weather, and the area is shaded in yellow here. This is from the Storms Prediction Center. So much like yesterday, we might have to keep an eye to the sky later today as those storms erupt. I'll time them all out for you coming up in just a few minutes. Chris?
All right. Thank you, Audrey. We'll check in with you in a few. All right. A major development in the city's mayor's race. Next at noon, Catherine Garcia has conceded to Eric Adams. Mike Sachs will be here with the very latest.
Seasoned reporters.
The deadline to file a lawsuit for childhood sexual abuse in New York is expiring on August 13th. That means if you are an adult now and you were sexually abused as a child in New York, you must file your case by August 13th, or you may lose your right to bring a claim forever. I'm sex abuse attorney Jeff Herman. If you were abused by a foster father, a teacher, a doctor, or
leave a legacy. Keep my heart pure, free your enemies. Oh, that's priceless is the time and the memories. Leave a legacy, you know the name. Swerve in my own lane.
Transportation workers who kept New York City moving. God bless you. Thank you. Thank the trucker, everybody. thank TWU Local 100. We thank NYC Ferry. Thank you to taxi workers. Thank you, MTA. Tie-dye kind of 60s or back thing going on. All right. Thank you, Amazon workers.
Guys,
service. We love you. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's give it up for the United States Coast Guard, everybody. We thank you, Coast Guard, every day. Thank you. Center, thank you. AMN Healthcare, thank you. Javits Center, thank you.